I should probably shave soon. Why, hello everyone, and welcome back to SamCastGS. I was trying to find something to talk about in this video for a while, and I finally came to the conclusion that I'm going to talk about Microsoft Word, specifically its penchant for telling me that I'm being too wordy in the way that I write. I like to be articulate when I write, so I choose words and phrases based on what sounds good or what causes the sentence to flow better. And so when I'm typing along and Microsoft Word is like, hey, you might be a little too wordy here, you might want to try this, and I'm like, that kind of defeats the purpose of what I'm going for, which is vocabulary. It's usually little things like in this document when I type the sentence, what can we do in order to address those issues, so on and so forth. And Microsoft Word was like, hey, instead of saying in order to, why don't you just say to? Because it doesn't sound as good. I used that phrasing not as a method of extending the sentence or adding fluff to my paper. I hate adding fluff, especially when I feel like I'm almost being forced to use fluff in order to reach the page standard of the assignment. Fortunately, nowadays that doesn't happen super often, but it's still annoying. You want wordiness and fluff? I will show you wordiness and fluff. I was reading this textbook for my class, and just wait until you hear this, because this is one of the hardest books that I've had to read for a class that I've ever read. That's definitely a sentence that I could have rephrased to sound less repetitive, but here we go. Though civic literacy is not the heart of participatory culture research, we want to emphasize the civic opportunities for real-world engagement that exist vis-a-vis this lens for understanding youth engagement. Who knows what vis-a-vis means? I had to look it up, and I still can't really remember what it meant. I think it means like within, or as, you know what, I'm gonna check. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Let's see, oh, there it is, vis-a-vis. In relation to, with regard to. So they could have just said that, instead of using this obscure freaking, what is this? Mid-18th century French. Who knows this? Why would you use this phrasing? We should note that there has been ongoing consternation among parents, teachers, and news pundits regarding the ways technology can create a passive sense of civic engagement. Look, I get that you want to expand your vocabulary. I do that on a regular basis. I try to incorporate as much word choice in my speaking mannerisms as I possibly can, because I want to be articulate and I want to be more detailed in the way that I describe situations, but I still use words that most people can understand. Consternation is just another way of saying anxiety, and pundit is just an expert. So they easily could rephrase the sentence to say, we should note that there has been ongoing anxiety among parents, teachers, and news experts regarding the ways technology can create a passive sense of civic engagement. It doesn't change the core of the sentence. When you fill up a text like this with such flowery language, I lose track of what they're actually saying, and I have to read through it multiple times just to understand the point. Here's my favorite example. In this context, digitally connected millennials are lambasted for lazy notions of civic diligence and action as little more than liking, retweeting, or occasionally commenting on the civically encultured world. What? Lambasted? Are you kidding me? It just means harshly criticized. I have never heard the word lambasted in my entire life. Not to mention, these sentences are so long. Considering how youth are engaging, building, and communicating in a participatory and connected world today, we must realize why civic writing is not the forefront of what is presently happening in classrooms. Good God! Sometimes short and sweet is the way to go. Maybe it's just me, but when a sentence is that long, it makes it so hard for me to stay engaged. I just lose my train of thought halfway through the sentence, which is why I feel the need to read these sentences over and over and over again. It makes reading super slow and time consuming. And if you think I'm cherry picking, let me read you a sentence from an entirely different portion of the book. Similarly, there is a key difference between deliberate indoctrination within classrooms and being able to support a community of engaged learners in teasing out inequities and contradictions in social life. Oh, seriously, some of the terminology in the dinosaur book is easier to understand than this. And on that note, let's just move on to something that is objectively easier to read. the dinosaur of the day. Alright, so we left off on Gallimimus, the rooster mimic. What? Does that look like a rooster to you? Sauricia, Theropoda, and Ornithomimidae, that's a new one. Gallimimus and other ornithomimosaurs. Come on! It's just torturing me now because I was laying into that book for being too wordy. Gallimimus and the other ornithomimosaurs, also known as ostrich dinosaurs, were among the fastest and most agile of all dinosaurs. Very fast rooster ostrich. A streamlined creature that may have been able to attain racehorse speeds, Gallimimus was among the largest of its kind, though its forefeet were weaker than those of other ornithomimosaurs. I'm not even gonna try anymore. While scientists cannot be certain what Gallimimus ate, it probably snapped up insects, lizards, and other small prey with its quick motions of its toothless beak, scanning its forested surroundings for prey and potential threats, sprinting away on slender, muscular legs at the first sign of danger. It would have closely resembled a modern ostrich. Alright, I can kind of see the ostrich, I still can't see the rooster. Why didn't they go with ostrich mimic? I don't know what that would translate to, but it would definitely be a little more apt. Physically, it was 13 feet long. That's... what? Jurassic Park lied to me. Slim legs, long whip-like neck, large keen eyes, a large brain, long thin forelimbs, ended in 3 attenuated clawed fingers. Okay, attenuated, extremely thin. Alright, you got me, dinosaur book. 3 extremely thin clawed fingers. Fossil sites are in Mongolia in the geologic age late Cretaceous. And without further delay, let's move on to the next one. Gripposaurus, also known as curved reptile. It is rather curved if you look at it. Ornithicia, Ornithopoda, and Hadrosauridae. We just went over the Hadrosauridae when we talked about Edmontosaurus. No dinosaurs were more common and well adapted to the late Cretaceous Asia and North America than the hadrosaurids or duck-billed dinosaurs. The area that now stretches from Alberta, Canada to the Badlands of Montana was host to Maiasaura, Anatosaurus, Edmontosaurus, and Gripposaurus. Gripposaurus's distinguishing feature was a large mass of solid bone set on the snout in front of its eyes. Yeah, it's kind of bumpy there. Paleontologists guessed that this strange hump was not likely to have been an effective deterrent to attacking carnivores and other predators. Probably not. Seems more like a cosmetic thing. Instead, it may have served for sexual display. Up to 30 feet long, typical duckbill. Are all of them just typical? They are individuals. Treat them as such. Strong hoofed hind limbs, 4 feet tipped with hoof-like nails, would have been comfortable walking on either 2 or 4 legs. Fossil sites Alberta, Canada, Montana, and New Mexico. And the geologic age, as stated before, the late Cretaceous. So that is the dinosaur of the day. Next we have Herrerasaurus. Ooh, he looks interesting. He's like a crocodile lizard. Thanks for tuning in. If you would like to subscribe, you're more than welcome to do so. As always, I'll leave a link to my channel in the description. Make sure you click the bell icon so that you can be notified when I upload new videos. I also have a link to the Facebook page where I post all the updates. That will be there as well, and you can check that out. You should check that out because it's, yeah, I mean, if you want, I don't, thanks for tuning in. Keep on cruising, my friends. Goodbye. It was Ornithomimosaurs.